So I recorded to. All right, great, great. So we're going to get into natural remedies to fight for common ailments, right? Um, and so there's so much we can get into when it comes to natural remedies. When it comes to natural remedies, we can spend hours and hours and days and weeks just exploring the wonderful things that God has given to us in nature. Now, for some of us who may be familiar with God and so forth, I like to put it this way. Every product has with it an owner's manual. Every product has a user guide, an owner's manual. For example, if you have a car, that car has a manual with it. Now, the manual lets you know what type of oil to put in that car, what type of gasoline that the car actually needs or petroleum, what type of, part that the car needs if it were to malfunction in that way or in this way, right? So we see that it plays a critical part when it comes to the user having a manual for that particular product in terms of how to use that product effectively. So, in other words, every product is produced by a manufacturer, right? The manufacturer produces the product and create the manual, to create the rules about how you should use that particular product. Now, the thing about it is that we as humans, we were fearfully and what else? Wonderfully made. That's right. So, since we are fearfully and we are wonderfully made, my friends, we were made by who? We were made by God Himself. And therefore, God being the manufacturer, are you following this so far? Being the manufacturer gave humanity, right, a user guide. Are you with me? A user guide. That's right. So that user guide or that manual, my friend, is, I believe it is the Bible. I like to call the Bible my medical textbook. Are you following this? My medical textbook. Because now we can see that since God is the manufacturer, He produced the product called the human being, if you want to call it that. And because He did that, He left with the planet, He left with Earth, He left with humanity a guide. And that guide is the word of God. Are you with me so far? That guide, my friends, is the word of God. The thing about it is that in that book, it lets us know what type of fuel, quote unquote, that the human body was designed for. That is what type of food we should be eating. That is what type of activity or how the human body should move and have activity, have action. Are you following this through exercise? In other words, to what type of exposure they should have to the outdoors, sunshine and fresh air. Oh, my friends, God has created a human being and left with us a manual, and that manual is the Word of God. Are you following this? We want to call that manual today our medical textbook. What did I say? A medical textbook. Now, within that textbook, there's a story of a man by the name of Hezekiah. Anybody read about Hezekiah's story in the Bible? Hezekiah came down with a very serious condition. He had a lump. Anybody remember that? You can find that in our medical texts in 2 Kings chapter 20. You will find that story there of Hezekiah, right? And um, and so with the issue that he had, his problem was unto death. It was what? It was unto death. Now, with his problem, he had a lump, and that lump, my friend, we can see that he was promised. Well, basically, he would have died if he have not changed or basically overcome the issues that he had. If you go to 2 Kings chapter 20, it says, "In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death." Now, if we were to look at the Bible in the lens of a medical textbook, right? Therefore, Hezekiah will be a patient. Now, when we examine that patient had a condition that was unto death. When you read your medical text in 2 Kings chapter 20, it lets you know that in those days Hezekiah was sick and the sickness was unto death. In other words, it means that the problem was so great that he was at the point of death. Are you following this? Now, that's how critical, that's how terminal, and that's how serious his problem was. Now, and the prophet Isaiah in the Bible lets us know this, the son of Amos came to him and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Now, my friends, I like to look at the Lord as a physician. In other words, the physician gave to Isaiah, which was almost like a practitioner. The Bible calls him a prophet. It said to tell Hezekiah, tell my patient, tell the patient to put his house in order because you will die. The disease that you have is so great that is unto death, and you will not live. Now, in 2 Kings chapter 20, verse 2, the Bible lets us know that then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the Lord, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord, remember not thou that I walked before thee in the truth, and how with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight? And Hezekiah wept sore. He cried. He prayed. He asked the physician to help him in his critical time in life. Now, you may know somebody, or somebody on this line could be in your critical time in life. Are you following this so far? We could be in our critical time in life. And so, therefore, I want to encourage you to pray and seek the physician because he can actually do wonderful things in your life. Are you following this? So, therefore, Hezekiah recognized that he was in a critical moment in life and he needed the Lord at that time. And verse 4. And it came to pass afore Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Turn again and tell Hezekiah, my patient, basically, the captain of the people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David, thy father, and I have heard your prayer. In other words, Hezekiah was in a serious situation where he basically was at the point of death. I'm not sure if anyone on this line here tonight, on the Zoom platform tonight, have been at the point of death, or have been in a situation where you feel or you see, it seems to be that there's no answers to your problems. There's no answers to the situation that you're in. Hezekiah, my friend, was at that point in his life. And thus he said here, he prayed. And look here very carefully, the Lord, the God of David, thy father, hath heard thy prayer and have seen thy tears. And behold, I will heal thee. And the third day thou shalt go up into the house of the Lord, and I will add unto you 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out of thy hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend the city for my own sake and for my sake of David's sake. And notice very carefully in verse 7. Look at what he said here. And he said to Isaiah, follow this very carefully. Take a lump of figs. Take a lump of figs. In other words, he told to Isaiah, go get that fruit, take that natural remedy, and I want you to use that natural remedy, that fig, as a medicine to help Isaiah in his curative process to go about healing. Are you following this, my friends? And they took and they laid it on the boil that he had. And what happened to Isaiah, my friends? Isaiah recovered. Isaiah recovered. Now, when you think about a lump, when you think about the procedure, the therapeutic that was done in that instance, the lump of figs, fig is a fruit commonly found in the Middle East. And I'm sure some of us have probably come across figs. We're not talking about green fig now. We're talking about the mission figs, the Turkish figs, these fruits that predominantly found in the Middle East and so forth, right? Now, with the figs, fig has an important ingredient in it, and you wonder why the Lord, being the physician, told his physician assistant, the physician assistant was Isaiah, to use a lump of figs for the patient, which was Hezekiah, and laid it upon his boil as a plaster. When he laid it upon the boil, my friends, Boils or tumors on the skin has blood vessels that go towards the mass that allows that tumor mass to grow over time. So what the fig does, fig causes a process that is called anti-angiogenesis. In other words, angiogenesis is a process where the blood vessels feed that tumor mass, right? Especially in cases of cancer and so forth. If a woman has breast cancer and she has tumors in her breast, there is blood vessels that goes to that tumor that feeds that tumor. Are you following this, right? And that allows it to grow. So what happens with figs causes a process that is called anti-angiogenesis that cuts out the blood supply that is going to that boil or that is going to that tumor. Are you following this? And it cuts that supply over time, therefore starving that tumor, and that tumor will begin to shrink and dissolve itself over time. I found that to be very fascinating that Isaiah used a remedy that has a scientific explanation to why that is used and how effective it is when it comes to boils. That is just an example in the Word of God, my friends. I want to show you of natural remedies being used throughout the medical textbook. Now, with this as well, I want to go through a few things here with you together. It's important for us to understand disease, its causes now, and prevention and cure. Just like how Isaiah got instruction, we also want to be prepared to the issues or to the situation that we can help and assist individuals, right, through the healing process. Now, the thing about it is, in Health and Living, page 241 says this. It says that if in praying for healing, they refuse to use the simple remedies provided by God to alleviate pain, to aid nature in her work, lest it be a denial of faith, they are taking an unwise position. It is not a denial of faith. It is in strict harmony with the plans of God to use natural remedies. My friends, the natural remedies become even more relevant, even more powerful when you couple that with the help of the great physician through prayer and faith. Are you following this? So it is not a denial of faith to actually use natural remedies. It actually exemplifies faith. So, what examples of remedies we have in the Bible? The use of herbs and kitchen remedies found in Ezekiel 41 and verse 12. The use of hydrotherapy, 2 Kings chapter 5, when Naaman, remember Naaman, dipped into the river, remember that? 7 times. That was a hydriatic treatment. Also, cleansing found in 2 Kings 7, verse 1. Juicing found in 1 Timothy 5, verse 23. Massage and essential oils found in James 5 and verse 14. Ointments and poultices found in 2 Kings 20, verse 7, and Jeremiah 46, verse 11. All of these therapeutics, my friends, can be found in our medical textbook. I told you before that God gave us instructions. Are you following this? God gave us a guide. God gave us a manual. And you can find these examples in our medical texts. In our medical texts. 4 steps in fighting disease. Step number 1, we should ascertain the cause. Number 2, we should change unhealthy conditions. Number 3, wrong habits should be corrected. And number 4, then we are to assist nature in an effort to expel impurities and to reestablish right conditions. We can assist nature through a rational therapeutic process or through natural remedies. First thing I want to talk about is anemia. Anyone who's struggling or battling with anemia, right? We talked about this on the program as well, but for some that had not listened to that program, we talked about blackstrap molasses and how blackstrap molasses can actually help to boost your iron levels, right? Also calcium, magnesium, vitamin B6, and also selenium as well. That is blackstrap molasses. We're talking about the unsulfured molasses. Also, with battling anemia, there's another drink that I want to share with you here as well, which is the iron drink or the iron tonic, right? That involves 1 gallon of grape juice. If you can find the grape juice without added sugar, that will be fantastic. Also, a third cup of figs, right? The fruit figs, and then a third cup of raisins, and a third cup of apricots, if you're able to find apricots. If you're not able to find apricots, you can just eliminate that in the process. 1 cup of blackstrap molasses. You want to mix all of these ingredients together, the above ingredients together. Sometimes you can even chop this up. You can even cut it up, or even you can even blend it to chop it up. And then you want it to sit for about 24 hours. And what I will do with this is that I will drink about half a cup of this 3 times a day. Once I take out all the pulp, and that is a iron drink to increase iron levels within the blood, within the blood. So that is how we are able to help with anemia. Now, what about cholesterol levels, right? So many persons battle with cholesterol, right? Cholesterol problems, cholesterol issues. Typically, if you're on a really good program, I've seen people lower cholesterol levels within about 7 days. If you're following a program of exercise and increasing your fiber intake, if you are consuming grapefruits as well, what I will do, I will consume grapefruits essentially twice per day, every day for about 30 days. That helps to clean the blood vessels, declog the blood vessels, also help to improve your heart and health, and also that can also in turn to help lower blood pressure levels as well. Now, some of us may be concerned about and ask the question, what about if I am on certain particular medication that don't do well with grapefruit? Now, if that's the case, most of the times it's really a matter of people taking it around the same time as a medication, because what the grapefruit does, because of certain phytochemicals, which is plant chemicals that is found within the grapefruit, can neutralize the impact or the effect of the blood pressure medication, or certain types of medication for the cardiovascular system. So you do want to keep that in mind, and always want to encourage people to consult with your primary care practitioner, the one that actually puts you on that medication, and inform them about what you're doing, and also if it will have any contraindications or contradict with the grapefruit or the remedies that you're going to be applying as well. Now, what about headaches? Sometimes people may experience headaches. Now, if you have headaches, I would encourage you to drink lots of water, right? If you have headaches, I would encourage you to drink lots of water, because that will help you tremendous to alleviate a headache. So, in other words, you can drink a cup of water, 8 ounces, 1 cup of water. I will do that basically every hour. I will drink a cup of water every single hour to hydrate the body, especially for those that are living on the island, or an island, or in a hot temperature where you need to keep your body hydrated. Dehydration is a serious problem, and a lot of people are dehydrated and don't even know they are dehydrated. The very fact that you are thirsty, it is the fact that you are already dehydrated. So therefore, you want to be able to hydrate your body frequently to ensure that you have the adequate amount of liquids and fluids through pure soft water to help to revitalize the body, the blood, the brain, the eyes, the skin. Water drinking is essential, but also it helps tremendously with headaches. Now, one remedy you can actually use for headaches is you want to get peppermint oil. Peppermint oil. And that is the food grade peppermint oil, digestible version. 3 drops of peppermint oil. You want to put that in, and also half a cup of water, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. Now, cayenne comes in multiple different forms or grades, right? It is even more impactful to use cayenne that is of medical grade. We're talking about 90,000 hit unit, which is the measurement of the chile, or the heat unit that is found within the cayenne itself. 90,000 plus have a quicker medicinal impact on the body. Therefore, I will mix these ingredients together thoroughly, and then I will drink, and I will repeat this until the relief has been obtained from a headache. Now, if you have headaches, there's other factors that could be a contributing factor to your headache. One thing could be dairy, right? For example, if you're constantly eating cheese, or especially cheese products can actually induce or actually bring about a headache more frequently, right? So I will even reduce or even eliminate that completely from my diet if you are consuming cheese, and so forth, right? Especially for those that have headaches. Stomach issues, stomach issues. We're gonna go to stomach issues for a moment. Now, I remember when I had a serious stomach problem because, of course, grew up on this island right here of St. Lucia, where peppers and hot sauces on fish and hot sauces and all kinds of stuff. And the hot sauce over time could destroy the lining of your stomach over time, blistering and burning up the lining, especially when the spices are habitually used within food. The difference between spices when it's taken as medicine and spices when it's taken as food is the transit time. And that is the transit time for digestion. That is critical to keep in mind. So when you take cayenne, for example, the spice of a cayenne, and you put it into water or liquid and you drink that down, the transit time of that leaving your stomach into your bloodstream could be about 30 minutes, right? So cayenne doesn't have enough time to destroy the lining of your stomach because it leaves your stomach so quickly. Now, when you apply hot spices to your food consistently, consecutively over time, that means that if you put it in food in your stomach will take about 2 hours, especially if your digestion is actually good, right? And to complete that entire process could be about 5 hours. So therefore, just imagine the length of time that spice sits in the stomach. Are you seeing this, my friends? It can actually cause damage over time, right? Over time. Now, for me, in my case, I had that serious issue. On top of that, too, stress can actually play a big factor when it comes to your stomach and the health of your stomach and so forth. So, therefore, I had an issue where I knocked out cold and I was bleeding internally. I was suffering with a form of inflammation called ulcerative colitis, right? And with the ulcerative colitis, one of the biggest solutions that was able to help me through that process and bring about a healing result was cabbage. Was cabbage. Absolutely, that is correct. Cabbage has a powerful medicinal value to it. Okay. So what I did was I drank about 1 to 2 cups of fresh cabbage juice morning and evening, and that was able to help heal my stomach. It was able to help completely, yeah, heal my stomach. And I was no longer able to no longer had that inflammatory issue, and therefore I was healed as a result. And now my stomach was healed through that process. The blood completely dried up within 7 days. Then I had to eat papayas. I ate a lot of papayas because papaya has a enzyme that is important for digestion to help and aid the digestive process. Therefore, you need enzymic action within the stomach walls or within the stomach itself, these type of juices to help break down food and break and digest food within the body. So I was able to do that. I was able to eat papayas for at least 2 months or so because I couldn't use beans for like a year. Every time I ate beans, it would just not, I had so much stomach issues and anything that was too difficult to digest. And therefore, I had that issue with the stomach. And my friend, I tell you this, the cabbage actually helped me tremendous. And with that too, I also drank the potato juice. So if you have stomach issues, gas problems, flatulence, if you have issues such as reflux of acid in the stomach, all these different things like this, I will take the cabbage and also even the potato juice as well. I will drink about 4 cups of the potato juice throughout the day before my meals. Before my meals. And so another thing here too as well, keep in mind, is indigestion. So there's any indigestion problems, right, where you're not able to digest foods effectively, raw potatoes tend to work efficient, right? So I'll eat about half a cup of raw potatoes that can be grated, that can be chopped very, very fine, and I will just eat that, and that will help to aid with indigestion. Also, funnel and caraway seeds, chewing and swallowing the spoonful of the funnel or the caraway seeds is a great way to stop indigestion as well. If you're able to find those seeds locally or wherever you are located. Now let's go to vomiting here for a moment, right? Vomiting, right? That's another issue that some people would experience with different issues. And I think we have somebody here. If we can mute, that will be very helpful. I think I have the host, so what I'll go ahead and mute that individual here. Okay, okay, okay. Great, great, great. So, okay. Let me see here. I'm going to Okay, good, good. So we should be good here for now. Okay, thank you so much. And so, my friend, we see that how these actually benefits vomiting now, going back to vomiting. Okay. Vomiting, ginger tea, right? Ginger tea. 1 teaspoon of grated ginger and 1 cup of boiling water as well. So I'll add the teaspoon of freshly grated ginger root to 1 cup boiling water. I will allow that to steep for about 10 minutes and then strain and sip on that tea. And that will help with the control of vomiting, nausea, and so forth, right? And that I will use that as well. What about diabetes? Now, this drink here, I've seen that work tremendous for individuals who are battling with diabetes. And we call that juice a beet eat juice. You follow me? A diabetes juice. Now, there's a gentleman that came to the program that we run out there in New York, upstate, and he had glucose levels over 298. In other words, my friends, he had type 2 diabetes. We were able to put him on a program for about 2 weeks. Now, within 5 days of being on this program, through exercise, drinking water, changing his diet, and drinking this juice in particular, this gentleman, my friends, his glucose levels went from about 289 to about 79 within 5 days of being on the program. And so it has been a tremendous blessing to so many persons who have used this drink. So, how do you do it? You will need string beans, cucumber, celery, kale. Now, kale may be difficult to find, especially if you're on the island and so forth. You could find it, but you will need a lot of kale to make this work. So, what I will do here, I will even eliminate that kale and I will double the cucumber. In other words, I will do 4 ounces, which is half a cup of string bean juice. I'll do an entire cup or 8 ounces of cucumber, and then I'll do 4 ounces of celery. I will mix these ingredients together, right? And then I will drink about 2 cups of these twice daily, 2 cups twice daily. Now, the thing about string beans, my friends, is that string beans has a plant chemical. Now, every plant has plant chemicals within it as well. We have identified many plant chemicals, and we still yet to discover so many other plant chemicals as well. Now, the phytochemical or plant chemical that is naturally deriving from these foods, from string beans, is a chemical called inulin. What does that sound like? That sounds like insulin. That's right, my friends. It's a natural occurring inulin that naturally occurs in nature. And it mimics the impact or the way that insulin works within the body. And that's why that diabetic juice is so impactful to lower blood pressure, because it has that phytochemical in it in high doses to lower or to bring down that glucose and to help to repair the body, to help to repair the body. So, Brother Taylor, at this time, there's so much more we can get into at this stage, but I just want to open up the line for any questions that we may have since we have our last a couple minutes here, so that we are able to answer any questions that persons may have as it relates to natural remedies to fight common ailments. Natural remedies to fight common ailments. So what I'm going to do at this stage, you know, we see that with natural remedies play a part that can help the body. But one of the biggest thing about it is that prevention is better. It's better to prevent a disease than to go through the healing process. Oh, my friends, it is cheaper to live healthy than to be sick. Let me say that one more time. It is cheaper to be healthy than to be sick. I rather spend money today and eat healthy and do healthy things than to go through a disease process because medications could be expensive. This could be expensive. Are you following this, my friends? Not only that, disease and sickness can actually cost us our life. That's how expensive it is. It's so expensive. Disease is so expensive that it can actually put you to sleep and you will never wake up. Are you following this? So I rather make the choice today to live healthy and to put the right things in my body and to treat my body in the right way so that I can get the best benefit from what God has provided for us. Now, one thing I want to live with us before we actually go into our question and answer here today as well is to understand, my friends, is that health is not by chance, but it is by choice. And also, it's important for us to understand as well that you reap what you sow. If we sow good health, we're going to reap. If we sow good habits, we should reap good health. Now, we're not saying that you're going to be immune from disease, but you're going to lower your risk or even eliminate your risk of contracting disease and sickness, right? And also, here as well, we see that God has a desire for you and I. In 3rd John and verse 2, which states that, beloved,
Before you close up,
yes.
you just whetting the appetites. We have up to 9 o'clock, quarter to 9. So you don't have to rush. You could take your time.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Take
Yes,
your
no,
time. You don't have to rush it. Take your time. I want you
yeah,
to take your time, please. The saints
yeah,
are there, they're like, give me more. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
the people
Okay,
have been blessed, they need it. So
yeah.
we all need it. So take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush at all. On this platform, don't rush.
Okay, good, good. Thank you so much, Brother Taylor, for this. And
Yeah.
I will have to end a little bit earlier because I do have to move from my location I'm in right now.
That's
Um,
all.
but um, but yeah, it's good. That's good to know. So I'm gonna cover some more parts here for us. So we can get into a few things together here as well. Okay. Let me go ahead and share that with you, and then we're going to spend about hopefully 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to go over questions because I know that some of us have a lot of questions and I want to be able to answer the questions where possible, where I'm able to, so that you can have resource. Okay. So with that too, let's get into a few things here together. We're going to look at a sore throat as well, remedies for a sore throat. Now, a lot of these remedies are around flus, around people who have lower immunity problems or get sick often and stuff like that, right? Where you can have a sore throat and so forth. One of the remedies for that is thyme honey mixture. This mix powder, you can get the thyme powder or you can get the thyme itself. You want to mix that with honey to make a paste. You want to make a paste and you want to take a tablespoon as needed. Tablespoon as needed. Another thing that can actually help with sore throats or even with infections is you want to peel 2 garlic cloves without scraping them and place on each side of the mouth, right? So you let it sit. You let it sit, even for people who may have infections, in the mouth or the throat or, toothaches or tooth infections and so forth. That remedy could help with the garlic, right? So you want to let that sit for about 6 to 8 hours overnight, right? And do this until the symptoms go away. And some of you may say, well, what about somebody going to swallow this? Well, typically, if you sleep with it, that's why I wouldn't use it for children at all. More like a seasoned adult that's more aware. Your body will not swallow this naturally, right? So your body will tend to protect itself here as well. Another thing too is muscle pain. So some of us may be experiencing pain, back pain, knee pain, neck pain, arm pain, all kinds of pain, my friends. Pain is a big business. And so pain management is critical. So I want you to take a screenshot of this or take something of this because that mixture there, which is called a pain salve, I don't know how many times I've used this for individuals who are going through issues where they experience pain. pain. Okay? And we have seen that pain lower and even eliminate by just applying this salve over the area. And the ingredients for this salve is half a cup of beeswax or vegetable fat. Vegetable fat meaning olive oil, right? And I will use olive oil in this instance. If you can't find beeswax, you can simply use olive oil to carry the ingredients. I will put 2 tablespoons of peppermint oil into that vegetable fat, 2 tablespoons of camphor oil as well into that, and 6 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 90,000 heat units. Mix that together, and I will make what is called a salve, ointment, an ointment. And I will take that, I will mix the ingredients within that ointment, and I will take that ointment and apply it to the area that has the pain. My friends, a gentleman came to the lifestyle program in New York, and he had issues where he had to go to a chiropractor, right, to help him with management of pain in his lower back. Lower back. And he told me that it will take him about 2 to 3 days of doing therapies to eliminate that pain to give him ease. 2 to 3 days. My friends, I remember when he came, he laid down on the massage table in the therapy room at the Lifestyle Center, Eden Lifestyle Center in New York. And we placed him there and took that salve and rubbed that salve in his lower back area and massage it into his lower back area. Oh, my friends, within 30 minutes, the pain was reduced significantly to a point where he says, I have never seen this happen so soon. It normally takes me about 2 to 3 days to have better pain management. And that man, by the grace of God, in 30 minutes, his pain was able to be reduced significantly. Significantly. Another thing here too as well is bladder and urinary infections, especially for those that are constantly dehydrated. You can put yourself at risk from getting a bladder or even urinary tract infections. In other words, you want to make sure that we hydrate the body, hydrate our system, put the necessary waters that we need in there so that we can keep that urinary tract clean and clear. But if there is that infection, I will get cranberry juice. Drink cranberry juice daily. If you're able to get this, that'll be great. Now, cinnamon. Cinnamon is great as well when it comes to this issue, okay, of helping the bladder urinary tract infections. Just yesterday, I was traveling on the island in St. Lucia. I was traveling up and I stopped by the side of the road for some vendors and they were selling fresh, cinnamon sticks. And I was like, wow, look at this. This is amazing. Cinnamon, my friends, it destroys the germs in the bladder. So what we can do here, what I will do is take 2 tablespoons of cinnamon powder, right? If you don't have the cinnamon powder, you can grind it, you can grate it. I will even use, if I don't have the powder, I will even use the cinnamon bark. I will make a tea out of it, concentrate. So it has high potency. And therefore, I will take 1 teaspoon of honey, 1 cup of lukewarm water, and then mix all of that together. And then mix all the ingredients together and drink that about 2 to 3 times daily. 2 to 3 times daily. Okay. So the next one that we have here is renal problems, renal failure, kidney problems, kidney failure, kidney issues. Okay. Nettle seed tea is powerful because nettle seed, if used at the right time, if used at the right time before somebody even go into dialysis, it can actually help to regenerate the kidneys, right? Remember working with a lady, and that lady had a issue where her kidney function was dropping very low. I think the kidney was functioning at about 10%. 10%. Now, this lady was able to get in the program, was able to use the nettle seed tea, use the kidney pod tea. And when she did that, my friends, over a 3 month period of time, her kidney function went from about 5 to 10% to 40 to 50% in kidney function. In other words, my friends, the kidney was able to start to regenerate itself and to heal itself here as well. So with kidney seed tea, sorry, with nettle seed tea, I will mix 1 teaspoon of nettle seed or root tea, boil for 5 minutes, and then I will strain and drink 1 cup twice daily. 1 cup twice daily. And then I will also use a kidney pod tea. Use 1 cup of kidney pod in 1 quart of water, boil for 3 minutes, and drink 3 ounces 2 times daily. And this will help to aid the kidneys in healing. Aid the kidneys in healing. Okay? Now, when we go into this as well, when it comes to fighting, let's say, flus or fighting issues with immune problems or fighting issues with low immunity, then we want to be able to implement these lifestyle remedies. These lifestyle remedies incorporates drinking lots of fluids, sunshine exposure, rest, staying active, trusting in divine power. And I want to encourage us to plant based nutrition. Plant based nutrition. And so, other herbs that can help us with boosting your immune system and ensuring that you can actually help the body to prevent itself or even to, if you're sick, if you have the flu, if you have the cough, you have the cold, I will do elderberry syrup, vitamin C. If you don't have vitamin C itself, the supplement, you can use grapefruit, lemons, limes, sour oranges itself, tangerines, anything that has a high potency, any fruit that has a high potency of vitamin C. Also, I want to get vitamin D, sun exposure, right? Not in the peak of day, but usually between the earlier parts of the day and the later parts of the night. That's when we want to get much more exposure to the sunlight. Also, colon cleansing, cleansing the colon. You can do that through high fiber foods. Let's say flax seeds, if you're familiar with that. You can even cleanse the colon by drinking prunes juice or eating prunes itself. If you are not able to do that, then you can take what is called sea salt and then put about a teaspoon of sea salt in 8 ounces of water. And that sea salt will help flush the body and also help to eliminate even clogged up colon, right? So there's many different ways to cleanse the colon, many different ways to cleanse the colon. So I want to share with you the super antiviral tonic. This super antiviral tonic includes turmeric, 3 tablespoons of turmeric powder or 2 inches, ginger, 3 tablespoons of ginger powder or 2 inches, golden seal, 1 tablespoon powder, right? Horseradish, half an inch, garlic, 10 cloves, onions, 2 medium-sized onions, lemons or limes. You want to squeeze about 6 or 12 teaspoons of lemon juice, cayenne, 1 teaspoon, honey, 5 tablespoons, peppermint oil, 15 drops, eucalyptus oil, 15 drops, tea tree oil, 15 drops, water, 2 cups of boiling water. You want to blend all the ingredients together and 2 cups of boiling water and draw for about 40 minutes. And I will take about 2 to 4 tablespoons every 30 minutes if I have a flu, a cold, a viral infection, and so forth. Now, if you don't have the ingredients like golden seal or if you don't have horseradish, you can eliminate these, right? So you want to use as much of the ingredients you can possibly have. But if you're not able to access these ingredients, it doesn't mean that you cannot do this. You can't do this recipe. If you don't have the ingredients, just do the best you can with what you have here right now. Now, this also helps as well with the immune function building, and that is fresh aloe vera juice, right? With half a cup of 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C, lemon juice, garlic cloves, turmeric, orange juice, and then you want to drink the full recipe. You want to mix that all together and you want to drink that down daily. Drink that down daily. Also, if you want to drink, if you want to have a vitamin C boost, you can combine grapefruits with cranberry, orange, and lemon with 1 tablespoon of molasses and drink about 2 cups daily to help to boost the immune system, to help the body to eliminate the issues of a flu or a cold, right? Another thing too as well is a hot and cold shower. hot and cold shower. Now, with a hot and cold shower, then you can alternate between hot and cold if you're able to do that or you have that access to this. That will help to boost your body's immune system. You can actually increase your body's white blood cell and your body's red blood cell count by alternating between hot and cold hydriatic procedures, right? So whenever you shower, it's important for you to, if you're doing hot showers or warm showers, to end your showers with cold. End your showers with cold. That will help to keep your immune system at top tier level. Top tier level. Now, my friends, prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. And health is not by chance, but it is by the choices that we make, and you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Now, this lady I met, her name was Deborah from Cleveland, Ohio. That was back in 2016, and she had an issue where she suffered with vertigo, and it started off with dizziness. The room was spinning for her, and so forth. The beginning of 2018, she said she was still having these episodes and issues, and now in February 2019, by God's grace, she was able to, several years ago, she was able to get off her medications, but also she was able to be healed from vertigo. She's able to be healed from vertigo. Even since then, advancing forward, there's so many people that have shared stories of how God helped them with vertigo. The vertigo issue is there as well, right? So, my friends, what is God's desire for you and for me? In 3 John 2, it says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Oh, my friends, Jesus wants you to be well. He wants you to be healthy. The thing is, my friends, is that we have to cooperate with Him through this journey, through this process, to have the best impact, the best possible way to which we can help the body recover and heal, and we can prevent disease and sickness. In Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, it says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. I have set before you life and death. I've set before you health and disease. I've set before you the wholesome way of life and the way that destroys the body. I've set before you good choices, bad choices, good habits, bad habits. My friends, blessings and curses. But the Bible lets us know to do what? To choose life. To do what? To choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Deuteronomy 30 and verse 19. I want to encourage us here today, tonight, this evening, to choose life, to choose life, to choose better choices, to choose better habits, because God desires for you and I, my friends, to be well, to be well. At this time, Brother Taylor, we're going to be opening up the line. We're going to spend some time together answering questions, open up the Zoom. And so that individuals who have questions, we are able to answer. If I don't know the answer to it, I'll let you know I don't know. But I'll try my best to assist in this process. And so what I'm going to do here is if you can raise your hand, or if you can put your question in the chat, I will go ahead and answer this. So somebody says, what can I do for a 4-year-old for worms? What can I do for a 4-year-old for worms? Worms. So with worms, if you're able to do it with a 4-year-old, you have to test that. I will basically do a I will ensure that they're drinking a lot of water for sure. I'll ensure that they're drinking a lot of water for sure. And a lot of the herbs or the processes for worms are very bitter. Um, Sorry, I think I was muted. If you have access to, if you have access to for kiva, if you have access to papaya seeds, I will just give them a little bit of papaya seeds. I will try it myself first to make sure that it's not too spicy, but I will crush the papaya seed up, blend it up a little bit with some powder, like crush it up a bit, and then I will add honey to it so it's not too spicy, and then that will actually help with some of the worms here as well, right? Another herb that could be used for that is wormwood. Wormwood. And now we use that a lot at the livestock program in New York. And one time, using the wormwood, when we last time I went to when I went to check the guest because he was using the bathroom so much, when I look in the toilet, I mean, I saw so many worms in there. I mean, tens and tens and tens. And I was like, what is this? And so therefore, every day he was flushing worms. Every day he was flushing worms. And so I use what is called wormwood for that. It's very, very impactful for worms or for parasites and that type of thing. Is one of the most powerful herbs for it. Somebody said here, what can I use for vertigo? What I will do is I will get garlic oil and I will put it in each ear every day, and I will use that as a remedy for that issue. Andres asked, there are a lot of women who suffer from uterine fibroids in St. Lucia. Is there anything that can be done for uterine fibroids? Now, if there's uterine fibroids there as well, that is what is mainly driving that is estrogen, right? Estrogen, high estrogen in the body. So, in other words, that estrogen could increase due to the foods that they're eating, due to the stress levels, and so forth, right? That can contribute. So, in that case of fibroids, what I will use is black strap molasses. It actually could help reduce it. Now, my mom had fibroids, and she did black strap molasses, a tablespoon twice a day for about 6 months. She went back to the doctor, and my friends, you would not believe it, the fibroids was gone. The fibroids was gone. I worked with a lady as well in the Bronx, in Queens, New York, that had two or three large fibroids, and she was able to do the black strap molasses with that, 1 tablespoon about twice a day, and she was able to stop the growth of the fibroids. And I say praise God for that as well, right? Somebody said, okay. Yeah, yeah, wormwood, you can't stand the taste of it. I will say put a little bit of it and mix it up with like, orange juice or pineapple juice or make it more palatable. Whenever you're doing things for children, you have to make it more palatable for them because it's going to be very difficult for them to use any of these herbs or teas. So I will either add honey to it or either put it in a juice or something like that so that they can enjoy it themselves. Okay. Somebody also said here as well, sorry, I didn't get the other ingredient. I heard only garlic oil. Yeah, garlic oil is what you use as well. What can I use for to skin decoloration of the skin? Vertigo, the coloration of the skin, to be honest, I have not dealt with that issue before. Um, and I'm unsure what can be used for that particular issue itself. Somebody asked there as well, what can I do for inflammation in any part of the body? What you can do for inflammation in the body, it all depends on the type of inflammation, but I will use anti-inflammatory foods or herbs. For example, ginger is one that is anti-inflammatory. Cabbage is one that is anti-inflammatory, right? So ginger is general rule. If there is inflammation in the body, then I can actually use ginger to help ease that inflammation. Also, I could use turmeric as well to do that, and that can actually help with different types of inflammation in the body. Okay, so somebody said I did rightly hear you say that you should not eat high fiber foods when cholesterol levels are very high. No, what I was encouraging you to do is to eat high fiber foods when you have high cholesterol levels in the body, very high HDL and LDL. So high fiber foods is great because you find your high fiber through vegetables, through fruits, and so forth, right? So this high cholesterol, I would encourage you to eat high fiber foods, which is mainly plant foods as well. Plant foods as well. Okay. All right. So are there any questions? Anybody want to come on the audio? You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself and you go ahead and ask.
Just before we take those questions,
Yes.
since just look in the chat, you will see a link Dr. Bailey placed there. That is the link to our Gospel Medical Missionary Group announcement. But even if you're not a trained Gospel Medical Missionary, you can also just click on the link if you want to join this group so that when we have activities coming up, presentation like this, you will be a part of the group to get those announcements. So we don't have to look for names to share it. If you're a trained gospel medical missionary and you would want to be a part of this group, the Gospel Medical Missionary St. Lucia, just click on the link. It's in the chat. Dr. Bailey, can you put it back again so they could see it right at the bottom? Yeah, so just click, yeah, it's right there. So you would see, just click on it, and then we would um, accept or honor your request and make you a member. It's a group where you don't get, people don't post things, only the host that place important information there. So you will not be burdened by it. Just wanted to share this. All right, so now we go to questions. Those who have questions, you could either raise your hand or unmute your mic.
Good night.
So,
Good night.
good night.
Good night. Good night.
Can you help with what can you do to help with gallbladder stones?
Okay, what can you do to help with gallbladder stones? Remember that somebody called the ministry from Ethiopia, Africa, and they had gallbladder stones, and they went to the doctor, and the doctor said that they had to do surgery to remove the stone. So when they called, I told them, hey, listen, try this remedy. If it doesn't work for you, do whatever you want, right? You can do your surgery, you can do whatever you choose to do. But try this first before they remove your gallbladder or do surgery on you, something like that. Try to preserve it as much as possible. So they went on a program, and what we did for them was they had to take olive oil, about a quarter of a cup of olive oil, with five lemons or limes, squeeze the juice out of it. You put it into the cup and you mix it up, and then they drank that the first night before they went to bed. The second night, quarter cup of olive oil, extra virgin, 10 squeezed lemons. The third night, a quarter cup of olive oil, 15 lemons or limes. The fourth night, quarter cup of olive oil, 20 lemons or limes. The fifth night, quarter cup of olive oil, 25 lemons or limes, right? So they were able to do that. And I know that sounds a little bit out there, but they were able to drink this before going to bed. My friend, when that person went back to the doctor, they said they couldn't find any gallbladder stones within the gallbladder. I say praise the Lord. The doctor was so shocked. He didn't even want to tell the lady that there was no gallbladder stone. He told her, go find another doctor. She went to find another doctor, and the doctor confirmed that she had no more gallbladder stones. So that's a remedy that I will use if I have a gallbladder stones, to eliminate these stones within my gallbladder, to save my gallbladder without having to go through a process that I may not want to go through at all.
Just want to add for the person, if you're in St. Lucia, and this is, you could also stop by our health store, and then we could give you some the information that you'll receive there also. But we also can give you a package to help get rid of the gallbladder stones. So just want to have this there, or you could also get in touch. Well, I know Dr. Monet is extremely busy, but if you'll need the center number, can you place the number for your place in the chat, Elder? at least for a person who wants to get in touch with your state right there.
Right, absolutely. So, Brother Taylor, what I'll do first is recommend that they come to the walk-in clinic, right? They come to the walk-in clinic, right? That is Better Living Health Store. And so,
They,
but also, I'm sorry?
yeah, they but some person with they might still need your number on the
Yeah,
website, so I want you all to place it in the chat if there's a number for the center, because the person on the platform that might be in the US or that have family in the US, and then it would be easier if they come or to your
absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
so we could get in touch. Yeah.
So I just put information here in the chat. So if you have that information, the phone number, email, also the website for those who want more information. And just to let you know too as well, we do have a lifestyle program there where people come and live in there for 7 days, for 14 days, and we help and assist them through the healing process, do many therapies, detoxification, cleansing, hydrotherapy, education, how to cook, how to prepare different foods, remedies. There are all kinds of stuff there. It's really a wonderful time for some people, a lot of people, and to be able to get the assistance and the help that they need to go through the process of healing. So I put information in the chat. In
Very
the
well. So since the information is there, you have edenlifestyle.org, you have the phone number, you have the website. You could just copy it and paste it on your, and paste it somewhere so that you, or write it down. So you could get in touch with the Dr. Monet and the Lifestyle Center if you're, or WhatsApp, message them, no message, email them, and I'm sure that they will get back to you if you need any assistance. Yes, go ahead, Doc. With I think somebody else have a question.
Yes, I have a question.
yes.
Yes.
Um, you spoke of the kidney pot tea and the nettle seed tea to prevent kidney problems. Can somebody who probably on dialysis or perhaps already diagnosed with kidney failure, can they use those teas?
Yes, they can use those teas. If you're using those teas to get out of dialysis, this is where it becomes very challenging because once you're on dialysis, it's very difficult to get off of it. But if somebody has been diagnosed with kidney failure, kidney issues, I will get on those teas as quickly as possible to help to try to save the kidneys before they get into dialysis, right? And that's the key. If we can prevent them from going into dialysis, this is where we want them to be, rather than them having to go into dialysis because the body become very dependent on that. Good question.
Okay, and also Dr. Bailey also will place the Eden Lifestyle information in our WhatsApp group. So those of you who are in the group, you will also get it there if you don't have time, copy it down. So make it available to you. Go ahead, next question. Somebody said, is there any natural medicine for COPD?
Okay, if there's any natural medicine for COPD, basically chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is a long-term progressive lung condition. And so, therefore, with that, I will use different things that can actually help to impact the lungs, right? So I will use herbal support like NAC, which is basically an antioxidant that helps thin the mucus and reduce the inflammation. Some studies actually showed that it can reduce flare-ups in COPD patients, right? That is NAC, okay? Also, omega-3 fatty acids. found in flax seeds or chia seeds can actually reduce inflammation in the lungs. Okay. Also, one of the foods, the rare foods that actually has omega-3 and 6 is breadfruit. Something that I've learned a while back when we used to, studying the foods of the Caribbean. Eating that breadfruit can actually help over time. Ginseng can actually improve the lungs and help with exercise tolerance. Another thing that can be used there as well is turmeric and curcumin, which has basically anti-inflammatory properties as well to reduce the lung inflammation. Uh, Another thing you can actually use for this issue too as well is ginger can actually improve circulation and also relax the airway muscles. Um, yeah, so these are some of the foods that I will actually use. And keep in mind that if that person is smoking, they need to stop smoking. If the air quality is very poor, then you want to be able to either avoid dust or pollutant areas. You want to be able to ensure that you open your windows when you sleep. I think a lot of people do that, right, on the island. Regular exercise, even regular exercise through walking, even swimming on the beach. I mean, swimming is a tremendous exercise as well, right? So these are some things that that person can do. So I'll also put them on a anti-inflammatory diet, right? That diet will consist of high in fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains, basically foods that are more or less rich in antioxidants to combat oxidative stress in the lungs, right? I will avoid dairy altogether because dairy with mucus actually worsen that situation. So, for example, cheese, these type of things will help to, the dairy will thicken the mucus, right? And also I will ensure that they are hydrated. It keeps the mucus very thin and also helps to easier to expel. And if you want to thin mucus even more, I will take in citrus juice through lemons or limes to be able to help with breaking up that mucus overall. So hopefully that answers your question. And do we have another one here?
Yeah, can I, if you don't mind me, just add to what you.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, COPD, well, we work with it. Well, I have some experience because we work with it almost on a daily basis from our health store. It's always wise to do a little consultation with those individuals because habits is important, as Dr. Monet did mention. I would also add mullein to it and the black.
That's right. That's right.
Because you want to help with the mucus. The mullein is a masterpiece. But we also have a local herb. But for people to use it, I have to give them the amount to take, and they have to know it. That we could also, it's called asthma. That is also very helpful if you cannot get the mullein. Mullein, lobelia, black seed oil. I don't know if you have used that, Dr. Monet. The magnesium also is very helpful in the regimen, and also um, oregano oil. So these I would, in addition to those things, we get remarkable results with a package that we give them for persons who have been on oxygen, unable to walk. I remember a gentleman when we were at the other branch, and I saw this guy crossing the road. It took him about half an hour from one side to get to our health store. I could see him, but then every 2 steps he has to stop. And he's from the yard. And he have been at home on oxygen machine for a period of time. We put him on a protocol. And about 3 to 4 months, about 3 months later, he was off the oxygen machine. Right now, the last time I saw him going back to work. And it's amazing how the simple remedy, as Dr. Monet did mention, and those simple things. You may not have everything, we're just giving you a whole lot, but then you do the best with what you have. This is what I would share that. Um, let's
Oh
see.
these are some powerful herbs that you mentioned there, Brother Taylor, and this lets me know that, you know, if we understand how to use those things effectively. I mean, I used to be skeptical about these things sometimes, you know, because you're so not accustomed to it, you haven't used it before, and that kind of thing, right? So me using this stuff over the years, working with people, working with guests, um, working with them very closely for many, many years, I have truly become a believer in this thing because I've seen it work, just like you've seen it work in that gentleman's life, Brother Taylor. I've seen it work in people's lives firsthand. And the thing about it is that what we have to really come to is to really understand the disease process and understand how to use these natural herbs and understand the lifestyle impact that we have to have in terms of the habits and the changes that we have to make, because you know, disease doesn't come without a cause. Without a cause, there is a cause to the issues that we face with, and if we can correct the cause, if we can find out the cause, we have discovered insights into the cure. Because all you have to do now is to correct the cause, and the effect or the disease or the issue will go away. I'm sure some of you have heard this before. We must be able to think and reason from cause to effect. So if there's an effect, a disease, there's most likely a cause for it, right? But if there is the issue, then we must know how to solve it and how to overcome this problem in our lives.
Amen. Miss Angela, you will get the recording in the group. So you will be able to go over whatever you're missing, you'll be able to get it. So once we have the recording ready, we'll place it in the Gospel Medical Missionary Group, SLU. For those of you who are there. And those of you who have not joined, if you feel free, the link is in the chat. Just click on it, and we will honor your request. We'll take one more hand, and then
Good evening. Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can go ahead.
see
All
Daniel
right,
has
good
just,
news.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Sorry. I asked about, thank you for the presentation, Dr. Monet.
Yes.
Microbiome products, do you know anything about it? One, and secondly, is there anything for adult onset asthma that you can recommend?
Okay. So microbiome products, microbiome products, basically what you're talking about to help enhance and also to support the beneficial bacteria in the body, right? So this is more like beneficial bacteria that includes your gut and includes your skin, right? So these products are often in the form of we call them either prebiotics, or we call them probiotics, right? Or both, right? So this can be found in natural foods, it can be found in supplements and so forth, right? So there are,
Lemony,
yes, go ahead.
I think maybe what you don't know, not don't know, or you not sure what cheese, I think, correct me if I'm right, sis, there is a product called that, and there is a group that is promoting, or it's like a membership thing. So I think I'm not
Oh,
too
you're
sure.
referring to a brand?
Something so. I don't know if that's what she's talking about in particular. So
I'm
let
not
me,
sure the brand, but yes, it's a series of products. I'm not sure if
right.
it's the entire
Oh,
brand is called
okay.
microbiome. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so what Dr. Monet was about to respond to is that you have persons, and every 4 years it comes on the market. It's a big business, and you have products that the simple things that is being put together, what you could get in your food, the simple things that you could use, but because it's properly marketed. So you have a chain, and it's a chain of one person at the head who
Oh, you talk
have
about multi-level marketing, that type of thing, right?
that is it. So
Yeah.
that is what has been. So persons are buying a product for 5 times the price of
Yeah.
a, yeah. So that's what it is.
And they sell it. Normally, these things are marketed like snake oil, right?
That
Um,
that
yeah,
that is
snake oil.
that.
But
So
yeah,
we, as gospel medical missionaries, we don't partake in it. One thing, no, we're not criticizing people's product, but then I've been bombarded for years as to join those different, but I know every 4 years they come and go and one person get rich at the end of it. And it's always the person who don't know that really suffers more because they spend so much money on the product that they could do simple lifestyle changes and
oh
get,
yeah, simple lifestyle changes.
yeah, and get the same benefits. So it's
Yeah,
marketing by
exactly.
system. Yeah. And I could let you answer as in the simple way that people can benefit
Yeah,
without
to
having to spend
benefit.
all
Yeah,
that money. Mhm.
exactly. To benefit from just healthy, to just have a healthy microbiome, basically, right?
That's-
So, and microbiome essentially deals with your beneficial bacteria, right, for your gut health. And
Yeah,
with
so the brand is Phytopower. Sorry, I
Phytopower,
just, yeah,
okay, Phytopower. Now, I'm not sure about this brand, so I can't answer for it.
okay. All right,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I have seen that before. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Um, yeah, I've seen that brand before. And so, yeah, I don't get caught up in brands, I'll be honest with you. I focus mainly on the ingredients, a lot of things, you know what I mean? And what I teach a lot of times is basically things that is accessible for people, that is not extremely expensive, that is not marketed as a one size fit all type of snake oil type of situation, but something that is more practical for us. So, good gut health starts with good cleansing, right? Really, good cleansing and good detoxification of the colon. And if you could do that, you can actually increase your beneficial bacteria, right? I have seen people do nothing and just cleanse the body, and that itself produce good bacteria, even B12 as well, which is not necessarily a vitamin. I have seen it impact people's lives positively by just doing a good detoxification. And that's something that we should be doing regularly. You know, back in the days, you know, we used to do what is called a cooling. Anybody heard that before? A cooling. People used to cleanse children and things like that before school starts and things like of that nature, because we understood the importance of reducing the toxic buildup within the system to allow the body to produce that beneficial bacteria again, as well. Okay. All right, but Attila, I think that's our last question here. And
let me just take let's
yeah,
just honor C Daniel because I've had the hands up a long time. So we'll just honor that
Good night.
last one.
oh, see,
Thank
yes,
you
go
so
ahead.
very much. Thank you
Yes,
so
go
very
ahead.
much. Good
Go
night,
ahead. Go
everybody.
ahead.
I just want to ask, is there anything natural you can recommend for baker's cyst? I don't know if you're familiar with this, the baker's cyst. Anything natural you can recommend? Did you hear me?
Yeah, some things are not straightforward as to when you come
Yes,
to
can you hear
see.
me?
Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So for some of us that may not be aware of it, right? With situations, you know, like I will share general information about certain things, but when it comes to your individual issues, it's always always needs a consultation to really get into the depth and detail of it, right? For Baker cyst, right, which is basically a fluid-filled swelling behind the knee, right? Typically, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is that the cyst it usually develops because of another joint issue, either arthritis, either or even knee inflammation, right? So, um, natural treatment, if we want to do anything natural to treat that issue, is focusing more on reducing the inflammation and the root cause so that the cyst can shrink on its own. So typically it's like, let's say there's some sort of inflammatory disease connected to that, right? So I will focus on the underlying problem, and then the swelling of that cyst will actually go down or reduce and go away, right? So some things that can be done, which is anti-inflammatory. I'm going to give you simple things you can probably access, which is turmeric, ginger, which is Boswellia serrata, which is an herbal anti-inflammatory for joint pain specifically, and even for arthritis. Now, I do have a special mixture that actually helps tremendous with arthritis. It's going to take some time to really share what it is, and how you can actually go ahead and do that. But you can do those simple anti-inflammatory herbs that will help with the issue. So the thing about it is that you want to always tackle the underlying issue, right? And typically, most of the times, the cyst can actually shrink on its own.
And Dr. Monet,
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
some in some of the conditions,
Yes.
like Dr. Monet mentioned, it's not just what you can apply or what you could drink.
Right.
Consultation is important when you do an assessment, because there could be other underlying conditions that need to be taken into consideration. So it's not just apply something. So you could go and apply some castor park. That may work, but it may not work without making all those changes. The person might be overweight. Their diet might remain the same, like Dr. Monet is saying. So what I don't want us to forget, with all the remedies that have been given, remember what Dr. Monet have been saying. It comes with the lifestyle changes, the 8 doctors that he keep mentioning, the 8 doctors, the exercise, the sunlight, the diet, the rest. All these things must be applied with all the remedies that have been given. So we want to make good use of it, but not just using the remedies, the natural remedies, as a substitute for drug and not making the changes. With that, you will benefit. You will benefit tremendously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Doc, I am so grateful, and not well, on behalf of everybody, we are grateful for your time, knowing that your schedule is busy. The information that you have shared with us on this platform, it is priceless. And I know that those who are on the platform, they truly blessed and benefit so much from it, and will make sure that, we encourage people to make the changes necessary. Now, since let me tell you, if you want to hear more of Dr. Monet, just before he leaves, he'll be at the Castries SDA Church on Sabbath. You want to hear a little bit more, you just make yourself available at the Castries SDA Church on Sabbath. Service starts from 9:15, and he will be speaking for the divine hour. So you could show your support to the brother. You won't see him now because of where he is now. But if you go to Castries, I'm sure that after service, you'll get to meet with him, a little chance to, just say hi to him and show your support. What he's asking is that please keep him and his family and the ministry in prayer. That's a wonderful way of supporting the family and the ministry. And his last word for you, Doc?
Yes. I want to mention too as well that as we close here today, is the choices that we make can impact us for the better or for the worse. Health doesn't come upon us all of a sudden. Disease doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It takes time. So I want to encourage each and every one of us to invest in your health. Your health is an investment. You will reap the reward later. And also to remember that ultimately, in all these remedies and all these herbs, Jesus, my friends, is the ultimate healer. God himself is the one that brings about healing and made it possible for the garlic to do what it does. He made it possible for the grapefruit to do what it does. He made it possible, my friends, for the onion to do exactly what it's supposed to do, and that is God himself. The ultimate healing comes from him, not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. Thank you so much tonight. And you mind if we pray, Brother Taylor, to close, or you can take it from there?
Yeah. We just want to say thank you again. This time I will ask Dr. Lilly if to close us in prayer and any last word that you want to share. Please feel free to do that. Are you available, Dr. Joseph? Sister Wendy. Okay. Okay, maybe she's away. All right, so we'll just close in prayer. And again, just want to thank everybody. I see all my friends from Grenada, with Austin from St. Martin. We have persons all across. We're so grateful that you all was able to join. Just hope that you all will join. Those of you not in the group, please feel free to just click on the link so that you will be able to receive announcement and important event that is coming up. Also, Dr. Monet and I were talking behind the scene as to one of these days very soon that would have a series of special training for a person who is interested. And then we'll also we'll let you know when it's coming up very soon. So brace yourself. Let's close with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful and thankful for all that has transpired here today, for the presentation, the questions, the response, the priceless information that have been received. I pray, Lord, that you continue to be with us and grant the strength that we need and the wisdom to apply those information that we have received here tonight. So guide and keep everyone, including Brother Monet and his family. And I pray, Lord, that just keep us safe and draw us nearer to the day by day. Dismiss us in peace, I pray. I ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Good night, everybody.